Hi, Dr. Corey. I just first want to thank you for taking us through this process, your flexibility, your kindness, your love, everything you did for us to going through this process. A lot of articles we read, even going through the racial handbook, our small groups that you created for us, where we are able to discuss a lot of things that we wouldn't have said under normal circumstances. I greatly appreciate all that, and thank you for just being our good professor this semester. You really made the learning very easy for us. I'm just going to summarize my reflection, and I will read it out so I don't go in tangents. My understanding and worldview, how it has changed since this training. I know I have a lot of multicultural experiences, having been able to live in 4 continents: Africa, Asia, Europe, and America. But what I had learned in this class, first through the Racial Healing Handbook and the many great articles that we read, really enlightened my mind about religion and how it impacts our individual lives, and in the therapeutic process counseling too. I learned the stuff about dominant and subordinate culture, the class construct invented by few to subjugate the poor, the control over the oppressed group, mainly minority, through gender, race, ethnicity, religion, and even language. I learned the effect of COVID pandemic on community of color and minorities of different group and classifications. I learned about institutionalized racism in its different shapes and form. In the Racial Healing Handbook, I learned about how to understand my race and intersectionality and my racial identity development through the Hoffman integrative model of RID. I learned conformity, dissonance, immersion, internalization, integrative awareness, and in all these stages, I understand something about myself. In the books we read, I understand how to talk about race from Ijeoma Ulua. I learned Stamp from the Beginning from Mackenzie, and also How We Fight for Our Lives by Said Cedric Jones. In the 3 books, I learned a lot about race in America, the history, the structure, the institutionalized racism, and most importantly, I really learned a lot from Stamp from the Beginning. Really touched me. It really touched my life. Considering how I have evaded the topic of LGBT experience in America, just because I don't want my friends who belongs to the LGBT community to be offended. So I always try to walk a straight line. Even in communication with them, I try not to offend them. So I try to in a way, I just try to evade, because I don't really understand the concept of choice, and instead of that, I just avoid the conversation completely. I loved my friends to pieces, but I just avoid any conversation that goes there to their, what they believe or their choice, the choices they make. My new knowledge and perspective in all this training, I fully understand what it means to be privileged, which has got nothing to do with money or affluence, but more to do with, if you never walk in someone else's shoe, you cannot understand their daily struggle. As a straight woman, I don't have to live being judged by who I decided to spend my life with. And this really affects me a lot when I read that book about Stamp from the Beginning, because the kid is gay, the boy is gay and is black, and the struggles the LGBT community goes through, and the discrimination they go through is actually on a different level, which is not something I would have been able to understand what they go through, because I don't live it. So this book, all these readings really opened my mind, especially that particular book. I also throughout this learning, the themes for me throughout this learning is I learn through the year that racism is evil. I learned the evil of racism and how it destroys lives and communities of everyone, especially those that are living through discriminations and racism. The area I struggle, like I just told you, is to learn more about the LGBT community, be a part of the solution, because I think right now my religious belief really hinders me to be able to open up and open my mind, even though I've dealt with all kind of people all around the world. But somewhere inside me, I just have never really fully addressed that topic or addressed to or validate my friends or family that are gay. And I think this is a new area for me to really explore and be part of the solution. I have done so many things in my life, form a lot of organization, but this is one area that I've never really learned a lot from. And because of this training, I'm going to start opening up my mind and start learning a lot and being involved actually in the community, in the LGBTQ community. I want to be part of the solution, like I said, because I think right now my religious belief is part of the problem, not a solution. How do I overcome that is now my mission. Finally, where I have learned mostly is my small group. It has been my safe haven to learn, to grow, and share our salient things about our individual lives. We've discussed so many things in that small group. I look forward to it every night. All this knowledge from this course has already started to germinate fruit for me. In my dealings with my students, I have changed a lot. I have been able to, I work with at-risk students in a very small, underrepresented farming community. And because of that, there's just so much that my knowledge from this class I'll be able to utilize a lot of the things I learned in my class to my community here and to my students. It has brought a lot of awareness on my part to understand more people's stories and struggles. My goal is to keep educating myself, is to keep learning about different things, and even to learn more about my own community and their reaction to race and gender and the LGBTQ community. I want to be able to start having discussions, especially with my family and my friends, about all these experiences, because just being silent doesn't cut it. And pretending that I'm okay once I don't have to rock the boat or make conversation that makes other people uncomfortable, I think everything is fine. I don't think I can do that anymore after this class. I think I learned so much from here. And I know how from this time going forward, this is going to impact my life anew. And how I relate to people, to everybody in the world. I know I have a great personality and I can relate to just pretty much everybody, but I also have to be able to search through my heart and see where I'm found wanting, where I need to do more, where I need to advocate more, where I need to talk more and express myself more, Thank you, Dr. Kerry. I cannot thank you enough for this opportunity. I learned so much. I can't even begin to tell you how much I learned in this class. And I will tell you, you tell us yesterday how how you enjoyed this class. We enjoyed you more. We sit down in that small groups, and I was so lucky to have a really good small group. And we discuss things that none of us wants even to talk about. Our pains growing up, our growth, our life, our different identity, our different intersectionality. We talked a lot about stuff and we grew within that group. And we told each other last night when we were in that small group, we're able to express ourselves and told ourselves what we've learned from each other. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate you, and I hope we have you again for any other class. Thank you so much, Dr. Kerry. Have a good day. Bye. Merry Christmas.